Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I am Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. Special guest from Pod on Lansdowne, we got Fitzy Mo Pena. Fellas, we did it. We entered the winter meetings. We got Ryan Watson, the guy we were looking for the entire time. We brought him home. Craig Breslow got it done, and we are having our celebration podcast finally.
Fitz, welcome on.
Good to be here, dude. The Watt man, Watt's getting fat wads of cash. I mean, man, not a dry eye when his number retirement ceremony comes up in 25 years after a long, historic Hall of Fame tenure, wearing the big red B on the hat. Until then, though, it's I'm glad to be joined to celebrate our new riches with the rest of Red Sox Nation.
Yeah. It's our pleasure to have you. Jack Webster, I'm mostly impressed that just moments ago, all the lights in this room were on. And in the 30-second intro we have, you turned off not only all the lights, but you made our primary light a rainbow color-changing celebration for Ryan Watson.
Yeah, let me tell you, I had to install these smart bulbs while, you were away at dinner the other night. It was very inconvenient with the couch and everything, but it was all worth it. I've been dying to use these the last few days here, and I'm glad we finally have an excuse.
I was hoping you were going to say, yeah, what you didn't see is also during that intro, I installed the smart bulbs, so they're all rainbow now. It would have been really impressive.
It looks sick, if I do say so myself. At least over StreamYard here, over digitally. My in-laws in their bathroom years ago, they don't have it anymore, but they installed a smart sort of light for their bathroom that changed colors and whatnot, and you could also connect that to Bluetooth. There was a speaker in there, so
yeah,
if you, really
can connect this to Alexis, you can just yell at it. That's what I do to wake up in the morning.
Pass the time, even.
You just fart 100 times and turn off and on the lights. That's all that I need it for.
Do you use the proper name Alexis so it wouldn't pick up on asking you, what do you want me to do?
That was me just messing up there, but yeah.
Oh, no, that's totally okay. And that little boop is checking in from my tablet over here. But anyway, can I turn the lights back on?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I can turn these back to normal. Too.
I say keep it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got listen. The Red Sox podcasting space. While there are plenty of great shows, you got to find a way to differentiate yourself at some point. Maybe your bit could be the disco ball lights from above.
Yeah, no, that's why we're not.
So exactly right.
Yeah.
That because you're wearing
fucking
a beautiful,
imbecile,
and that because you're wearing a beautiful turn ahead the clock Rockies John right now, which is lovely. I do say so myself.
Now's a perfect time for the fit check, I guess. I got this in Colorado. Not this last season, the season before that with Mr. Fenway attendee, as I'm sure you guys have brought up on your fine establishment sometime.
Of course. Love it.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, no, we got a little 33, which you can tell on the back, but a little Larry Walker, a Hall of Famer, deservingly so.
Absolutely. Glad he finally got in. Like a re-release from Mitchell and Ness or something, or was that Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a thrift market John or something.
Yeah, it is Mitchell and Ness. Yeah.
Gotcha. It looks great.
No, I do not have the $15,000 it takes to own one of the true Larry Walker's own throwback jersey.
Game used.
Yeah. Believe it or not, the Twitter revenue is not that strong. We actually do not earn any at all. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also been ruined. Nobody can earn any Twitter revenue anymore because it's now just
because we're not AI
cesspool. Yeah.
Never too late to try, though. Again, you have to differentiate yourself as a Red Sox podcast. Do you know
this
a
is
Red
very
Sox
true.
podcast that has porn bots speaking on its behalf? I don't.
I don't know. Robbie Hyde got like hijacked like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
I didn't want to say it. He kind of did. Shout out Robbie. But
friend of the program. Friend of the program.
Yeah, he got a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and boots on the ground at the winter meetings this week.
Yeah.
Love that for Robbie Hyde. I'm glad he's
Yes.
back. Glad
That's
Twitter
right.
welcomed him
no,
back with open
absolutely.
arms.
We
I was,
had him on
tuned in,
for,
tuned in
last
there
season.
for. Hi, Christy. What's going on? I don't know if we're gonna do a song of the week this week, but
From Zoidberger.
Yeah. No,
Could be
we'll do a
AI
song of the
set
week.
spots.
Like
Hell
we'll,
yeah.
we'll do a little crossover
Love it.
here, I guess. Yeah.
love it.
Before we get into the winter meetings of it all, I learned right before we came on that Gilbert Gottfried died in 2022. You guys
did.
broke this news to me. I had
Yeah.
no idea what happened.
I don't know what his cause of
Old.
death was. He was only 67. I didn't mean. Fuck. God damn it.
Ooh, we did this with Play Tessie last night as well. Like we are the worst people on this entire.
Yeah, I
That
thought
was
we were gonna
quick. You
offer
were really
6-7
quick
years.
because
They said the same thing. Like we were instant on it.
That was 67. Like yeah, like to throw you off a little
How
bit.
was he not? But like seriously, how was he not like always 67? Like he was 67 when we were like 5 years old.
Just perpetually always.
Always been 67.
Yeah.
It's me, Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah,
As we were all doing our impressions before coming on as well, which
yeah.
everyone has a good Gilbert Gottfried. I'm learning.
You're doing your
are
own
saying-
Iago.
It's me. Hey, it's me, Gilbert Gottfried. Oh, it's the Clitoris.
Electric Rat from Pokemon.
He was in Pokemon.
No,
Yes.
no, I'm doing a little
Get it
deep cut.
50-50. To Wikipedia.
I don't know. It could be. It could be. It's whatever you want it to be.
Gilbert
His
Gottfried
last,
as
I think his
Meowth?
last official acting credit was in Smiling Friends
That
Interesting.
is amazing.
Let's
as,
see
the,
how
as
we're
the voice
doing
of
on
God
the trivia.
in the episode Charlie Dies and Never Comes Back. I believe is the name of it. It's when Charlie goes to hell.
Television.
Yeah.
I'm going through it now. Everyone-
It's very Pot on Lansdowne-esque to mention Smiling Friends. Within
Absolutely,
the first,
yeah.
10 minutes
Again,
of this
not
podcast.
to keep
I don't
beating
know.
it.
Yeah.
Not to keep beating a dead horse, but to differentiate yourself. If you want Red Sox talk and Smiling Friends talk, it's probably Pot on Lansdowne, and I'm
Yeah,
sure that's
no-
a huge demographic.
We are very much like Family Guy highlights. Like like between
Respect.
like 99 to like 2010 Family Guy. If there's a reference to be made, we will have it.
Right.
So, fun fact for everyone listening who came for the Gilbert Gottfried talk, as we're very well known for.
Nothing
on this
else
Red
to
Sox
really
podcast.
mention from today.
Yeah, he was
really not.
God in Smiling
Yeah.
Friends. His last acting credit was in the Patrick Star Show as Shecky in 2023.
Who could forget
After
Shecky?
he's already dead from the Ouija board.
Postmutheus, I believe is how you
Yeah.
pronounce that word. After they died,
Excuse me?
Postmutheus.
Is not posthumous?
I don't think it's posthumous. No, I don't think so. I think
You
it's
don't think it's
I'm probably
posthumously?
mispronouncing it too, but it means like, hey, after you died, like this was like like Tupac had Postmutheus albums. But again, I don't think I'm pronouncing it well.
Yeah,
At
Juice
all.
WRLD too had a pretty
Yes,
stellar
Juice WRLD.
Puff Muthief album.
XXX
Yeah,
Tentacion.
they're like I'm convinced Mac Miller's still alive because every year they're just cranking out
Is it
another album.
so? Zoidberger in the chat there, shout out Zoid, says posthumous. Posthumous. Okay, there you go.
That sounds more right.
Yeah,
He actually says posthumous is what
Posthumous.
he's saying here.
Posthumous.
Well, all right,
condemn
all right.
posthumous.
Yeah.
And we're banned, everyone. It's
Yeah.
been fun. Have a good night. Well, as it were, we had a winter meetings today.
we did.
We had a winter
Sorry.
meetings all week.
I know.
You might have fooled me though.
Yeah, I feel pretty edged right now, honestly. We didn't really, get anything. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really get anything.
Did
out
you
of it.
not?
we
see the
already talked about
celebration?
Watson.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
All right, you know what? Why don't we start with Ryan Watson? I saw that we got him. I saw that his strikeout numbers are relatively good, but I think you guys are probably in a bit deeper on the research on that. Someone tell me a little bit more about Ryan Watson. All right, Jack Webster, you go first.
Yeah. 6'5" righty.
6'5", 6'5".
Yeah, big extension, Craig Breslow type. Yeah.
You took exactly like if Craig Breslow did have the pitching lab, and it was more like a Frankenstein lab where he was able to build, the pitcher of his dreams. That would be the archetype.
Yeah.
Cool.
I saw he's like 27, yeah. Oh, we got breaking news. Mike Yastrzemski to the Atlanta Braves.
I thought you were going to say Red Sox.
No.
That would have been a really
That would have been really
interesting-
stupid. Because
Yeah.
we have enough left-handed outfielders, but yeah.
But the shirts, you haven't thought about the
Yastrzemski to the
shirts
Red
that they could
Sox.
sell.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You'd have to wear 88, right? You'd
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, there we go. We're on
Absolutely.
the same page, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just
Yeah.
kiss already, guys. No, Jack Webster, don't kiss. It's just an illusion. It's a mirage. You
man.
can't.
A couple more
actually
years, we'll be
kiss
able to
him.
do it over the interwebs. Al Gore's interwebs.
Al Gore's, did he invent this?
Yeah, you invented the internet, yeah.
Why am I just finding this out right now?
Steve Jobs invented the iPhone. Shout out Sam
Yeah.
Jian.
Who's Steve
That's
Jobs?
true. Oh, man.
Yeah, shout out to that joke.
I did find it interesting because I thought we were going to take a lefty reliever. So, like, literally, I assumed when I heard the news, like, lefty reliever makes sense. You know, we're looking for one of those, get it in the Rule 5. And then I find out he's right-handed. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because it kind of does add on, like, one extra spot to that, like, literally guaranteed bullpen role. Since you don't have a ton of guys out there. You have, you know, Chapman, Whitlock, Greg, Slayton's going to be around, Jordan Hicks. So now you added 6 guy there in Watson and like, okay, like, you know, it's low risk at the end of the day. It's not like, hey, if it doesn't work out, who cares? But like, it was not the, you know, kind of move you're expecting and now kind of not limits you, but, you know, now it's one less thing in the bullpen that you can acquire, I guess.
Right.
Sure.
And you know, we talk
Yeah.
about the pitching depth that the Red Sox have. And a lot of that is in the context of guys who could hypothetically slot into like that 4th or 5th slot in the rotation, right? Or a swing guy, a guy that you can, you know, when the inevitable injury or two pops up in a pinch, hey, you can give this, you know, the ball to this guy for a 5 and dive. And that's all well and good. That's wonderful. You need that. I think the second half of the 2025 season proved exactly why you need that depth. And I think we have it in spades at this point, right? As for, the innings in between the 5th and the 8th inning, I'm not going to say it out loud, but guys like that, it's important to have depth there too. So maybe Watson, I mean, I'm looking at it. I got to be honest, I don't know a ton about him. But just on the surface, yeah, the whip at 1.5 isn't all that great, but 64 punch outs in 50 2/3. If you're able to unlock something there and keep the free passes or the hard contact to a minimum, that's something that you can absolutely trust in the 6th inning or so.
Sure.
Could.
And we've had
Not
luck
saying you
with the
would,
Rule
but
5
could.
pitchers. Like,
Yeah.
Slayton has shown signs of excellence. He
Whitlock,
hasn't
of
even
course.
quite put it over. Yeah, I was going to say, and now Team USA closer Garrett Whitlock.
The very same.
Yeah.
I'm curious what their strategy was with the Rule 5. Like, why didn't they just take Ryan Watson during their turn? Do you think Breslow
Apparently they
was-
wanted to, but yeah.
Why didn't...
I know, and then
You know what?
Literally,
Shout out to that now very famous and excellent tweet. Red Sox have passed. It was their time.
Yeah.
May they
Or-
rest
yeah.
in peace.
Shout out Ari. He has been like just low key, like just bursting into the scene, like superstar, like accurate reporting from like the day he started like 2 weeks ago.
Good for him.
Well, good for him, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very curious why. Like, were they sleeping? Like, were they pooping? Like, what were the Red Sox doing that they passed their turn and then like right after immediately traded for Ryan Watson?
Well, he was higher up. So he came from the Giants, or he was on the Giants last year, I should say. And then the Oakland Athletics. And you know what? I'm dead naming them. Yeah,
Dead name, absolutely dead name.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
have my
even. I'm not even
endorsement.
correcting
Moneyball didn't
myself. I'm not
die for
correcting
this.
myself, yeah. They claimed him, and this is actually exactly what happened with Justin Slayton. Like, you have to make a trade for the guy, and all the same rules of the Rule 5 apply. Like, you have to keep him, you can't send him down, yada yada. But we actually had to give up some random minor leaguer, Josh Reimer, I believe it was. Absolute, who cares? So
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's not like you really had to give up anything that would contribute to you.
Justin
Major League level.
Reimer is the man's name.
Justin. Sorry.
Silly.
Yeah.
You silly goose.
So you know what? If this is a guy that we truly targeted, there has been so many diamonds in the rough that 2.5 years now, I guess, that have ended up working out. So I'm gonna trust the process on this one. There's no need to get upset about a Rule 5 guy.
Yeah, and worst that happens is we send it back.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
$50,000. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, sorry.
Pitched really well in Norfolk in 2024. It looks like. I mean, well, it was only 6 1/3 innings. Go fucking figure, right? But point is that maybe they were able to unlock something. Sometimes it's all it takes: a different change of scenery, someone to notice something under their hood. People who are smarter than me and are paid more money than me to figure these things out, they do this for a reason. They didn't just do it for shits and giggles. So we'll see.
Yeah, and before we, absolutely rail Breslow for, whatever the fuck he was doing the last few days at the winter meetings, TBD, he has always had a good eye for pitchers. Like, all of the pitchers, aside from Jordan Hicks, that he has brought onto this team have performed in some way or another. Even Alcala for a few months was pretty stellar, and then he kind of turned back into a pumpkin. But Breslow knows how to get a good pitching staff in the bullpen and the rotation, so I trust the Ryan Watson trade signing, Rule 5, what have you. The winter meetings, however, I can't start this. I can respond to this, but Fitz, as our guest, I would love to hear your first overall take for the winter meetings, and obviously the big news today of Alonso going to the Orioles. How did that affect you as a fan?
I was actually kind of banking on being one of the people to talk about this in response, just kind of reading the temperature across Red Sox Twitter. Again, social media attacks on that, doesn't speak for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest, would Alonso have been nice? Of course. We know the raw power that he has from the right-hand side of the plate. First base / DH is a position that looks to be like it could be in flux for the next couple of years, even given his age. The team really could use some power. Of course, him smashing homers over the monster would have been nice to see. I struggle to get too worked up about this. I really do. I get that people have been burnt by the Red Sox front office before, the full throttle and alignment and all these kind of things over the last couple of years. I get it, but I think we entered this week knowing that there was a fair chance that they weren't going to land one of Alonso or Schwarber, unless I'm completely wrong and out of nowhere they just became the odds-on favorites. I know they were in conversations with both of them, but there was a very real world where they weren't going to land one of those two. They didn't. After that, going into the week, what other huge dominoes have fallen? You know what I mean? Like I struggle to come even close to thinking that this winter has gone belly up, because I don't think it has. Now, if they end up missing out on someone like Marte and any of the the pitchers that you think you could bolster the rotation behind Crochet, or any of the Japanese hitters, or whatever it ends up being, if Isaac Paredes is the best acquisition from this point on until opening day, then yeah, I would crash out alongside with you. I don't think today was the day to do that. I struggle to get myself worked up over it.
Interesting. Jack Webster, you get to respond to that.
No, so I do agree with, honestly, just about everything you said. Like, there's still a lot of winter left. There's still a lot of guys out there. Like, this offseason has not gone belly up at all. But I'd be lying if I wasn't annoyed by this, or by not only today, but really the whole winter meetings. You always hear from Breslow just, the same regurgitated type of stuff of like, we need to be aggressive, we need to be decisive, we need to get uncomfortable with things. And we really have yet to see that. Like, you say all of these things, you're kind of leaking things out to, Will Fleming, Jared Grabus, and not these guys are not to blame at all, but like, you're talking a big game, and we've only half seen the deliverance of it. Of course, Sonny Gray's a great addition. You have a move I like in Oviedo as well. Mm-hmm. But this is the exact time right now to go out there and even, hey, maybe you don't sign Schwarber, or hey, maybe you don't get to go home with Pete Alonso at the end of the day. Like, obviously that was a lot of money that, the Orioles gave up. But when you're kind of laying out your game plan like you haven't over the last few years because you've been worried about getting burned, because you have this confidence that you are going to get it done, and then you don't deliver, then yes, you kind of have to live with that if you're a GM or Pobo or whatever you want to call them nowadays. And, you know, as a fan, like when you are expecting these types of things and, you know, the opportunity might slip away, you know, as we have seen over the last few years too, I think there is some area for concern. Like, hey, like maybe we do get it done, but like how, like, are you trusting the process almost a little bit too much where you could get off the rails a little bit, maybe make a decision that might burn you in year 4 or 5 of that Pete Alonso contract, but you know, it might bring you home a World Series right now. And, you know, I think we had the opportunity to do that, and we still do, but it is, you know, a sour taste in my mouth coming off of the winter meetings, podcasting here for 3 days straight in a row where we have really nothing truly positive to build off of after this week.
That's why we talk about Gilbert Gottfried for 10 minutes to start the show.
Yeah,
There's not a ton of
exactly.
noise, right?
Yeah.
I will say, I get where you're coming from with a lot of it, but if I could just quickly respond before Ian gets a bite at this apple. You're right that the AI asked quotes that come from Craig Breslow from time to time, like some ChatGPT ask comments, you know, again, the alignment and all that kind of stuff. Oh, you know, we have to be uncomfortable. We have to do this. We have to do that. Yeah, I can understand why that would grind your gears. And I understand why you would think someone like Alonso, which I think sparked a lot of the, maybe not full on panic. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe just general discourse, just a catch-all kind of term, your mileage may vary on how much that applies to kind of what we've heard over the last handful of hours across Red Sox Nation. But correct me if I'm wrong. The establishment known as Not Another Sox Podcast just a couple of days ago mentioned the fact on a post that did do some numbers that Mr. Breslow is like a real G who moves and sounds like lasagna. Just because
it can still happen. I was not buying
right.
into many of the rumors, but yeah, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Just because the rumor mill is not 100% hot, we could be, guys. There could be a move, lined up now that could drop in a couple of hours. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see the future, but there could be a move that never even crossed our radar as possible. And I'm not saying it's something as groundbreaking as like, oh, holy shit, we just traded for like fucking Ronald Acuna Jr. I don't mean that, but the coals, I trust enough that they have enough coals working in the background, enough coals in the fire. That's the phrase. That's what I was looking for. Found it eventually. But knowing that they can work in silence and still get things done in the off season, the trade deadline stuff I still think needs to be worked on. But after seeing an off season of this last year, I'm confident that they could put something together. Who it is exactly, I don't know, but I'm confident that they can figure something out, and that's why I'm not yet freaking out. Again, I reserve the right to crash out if I hate to keep shitting on Isaac Paredes, but I saw his name thrown around a couple times today. So if that's the big ticket sort of item that we get from here on out, you might see a crash out from me, but I'm reserving judgment until then. What say you, Ian?
Thank you. I would love to take your
Anyways.
crack at this. Moving on, Gilbert.
Going back to
Gottfried.
Mr. Godfrey.
Yeah. Fitz, I am in the same boat. Firstly, I want to address, it is pretty funny that you can usually tell which one of us is tweeting from the podcast account. Like, we definitely have different approaches, and we definitely have similar views on.
We're kind of
like
the
when I
same
say
way.
Alex Verdugo signs an $88 million deal.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
It was funny. Actually, the one you got right before that got a lot of traction too, that he hadn't posted on Instagram since.
That one is true.
That is definitely true.
But that one I posted before you go off on your opinion. I almost considered doing 1 year $5 million, but I thought it was too real.
Yeah.
I would have
But
been.
anyways, yeah.
It would have been. So I also, tweeted out today that I'm just not super heartbroken about losing Alonso, because we still have, 3.5 months of off season to go. And I mean, what I had specifically shout out to our friend at Dr. Fenway attendee should prescribe every single person a little hashtag wait and see. Just a little wait and see, because
Side
there's so
effects
much
of
time.
wait and see may include not crashing out at every single transaction.
Might include inner peace, touching grass, bloody
Calling
urine,
loved ones.
And, I'm not broken up about Pete Alonso because, firstly, the deal he got from the Orioles is pretty disgusting. He's getting 31 a year over the next 5 years. No deferrals. They are handing that to him cash in hand by the end of every single season. 30 million a year. I mean, to pay that up front, people do it. Like, you do that for many reasons. I'm sure Bregman was 20 million in hand and then 20 deferred, but 31 in hand is a lot of money to just hand out. The Red Sox have that money. So my follow-up to that being, like, Pete Alonso, clearly a ton of home run power, ass first baseman. Like, the defensive metrics he's posting at first base are not enticing to any person anywhere. Like, he's only covering first base while Casas is getting healthy, or while you're acquiring Paredes, or while you're developing your Ryan Noda that you pull back off of waivers, or whatever it may be. I would have loved to get Alonso because we want the power. I'm not heartbroken over losing Alonso. I'm not heartbroken over losing Schwarber. They would have been great guys to pull in.
Absolutely.
5 years, 150 for both of them. Those are huge investments for guys that aren't really playing a lot of defense. And something Craig even said this morning on MLB Network, we have a huge priority over improving our defense. And
You did mention
metrics even showed from a negative 51 outs above average in 2023 to a positive 9 outs above average in 2025. Like, if you're going to show that and then turn around and be like, by the way, we're adding one of the worst defensive first basemen to our roster to fill the role that Rafael Devers had before we soured that relationship, it just kind of like discredits all the moves you had in the past few years. And Alonso would have been nice, but I'm just really not heartbroken over losing him.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know this. There is a position in Major League Baseball just designated for hitting. There's a guy where you don't have to play him on defense at all. And we actually had a pretty good one for a long time, into his late 30s and early 40s even, that continued to still be a very productive, if not elite, bat for us, because he didn't have to worry about defense at all. And so
a designated position for hitters. I think we should call it Mr. Bat-O-Matic. That's what we should
Mr. Bat-O-Matic, yes. Yeah.
Billy and the Clonosaurus.
My question is now, where do you pivot to next? Because I don't know there's a single bat out there that really is as good as Pete Alonso, even with all the defense and, you have to put him at DH and everything else like that eventually. But, like, if you have to go out there and get a similar bat, now you're having to give up other prospects
it's not in free
and still
agency.
pay money. It's not in free agency. You could have just paid money for this.
But there is a better hitter available. It'd be via trade, but he is a better hitter, and his name is Ketel Marte.
I 100% agree. And but in terms of power hitter, in terms
even
of
then,
big
like
boy,
Ketel Marte has. I mean, pure power. Yeah, of course, Alonso, because he's built like a brick shithouse, but. Ketel Marte, I know it because I tweeted it out today. Over the last 3 years, he's got like a 141 OPS plus. He had a over 500 slug from both sides of the plate last year. Career against the lefties, so batting from the right side at Fenway, career slug considerably over 500. Like that, I understand that maybe isn't the guy that you went into the year thinking. You look at Kyle Schwarber and like, holy shit, he had 200 home runs last year, which that's fine. That's fair. Like, you're talking pure power, but in terms of slug, even if it's not leaving the park every time, if it only leaves the park 30-something times a year as opposed to 40, like high 40s, even then, the damage that Ketel Marte could do in this lineup, which, by the way, already a pretty damn good lineup. I know towards the end of the year it slowed down, but at this lineup at full strength, a healthy Anthony, you're going to see more of Wilyer Abreu. Hopefully he takes a step forward with against left-handed pitchers. Hi Liam, fuck you. I thought we euthanized him.
couldn't join us, but in the chat.
What if it's not the
enough.
real Liam?
And also, if you go and get Marte, and before I mentioned this point, because I had a couple of things kind of jostling around my head.
Yeah.
I'm not against giving someone like a Pete Alonso $30+ million a year over a 4 or 5 year deal. That's fine. If that's where the team wants to spend their resources, I get it. If they want to pivot and do it somewhere else, totally get that as well. It's not my money. They should not be beholden strictly to any of the luxury tax thresholds, but it is something to consider. So if they don't want to spend the resources, they're fine. If they go and get Marte, and even if it is going to come at the cost of some of the controllable pitching that we have, which based off of it, I'm not a fucking insider, but any of the reports I've seen have mentioned that Arizona would be interested in getting some pitching back. That still frees you up to do anything else that you want to do. If you want to lock Bregman back in, you'd still be free to do that without facing harsh tax penalties. If you wanted to go out and trade for your Freddie Peralta, which the Athletic just reported before we got back on that they're still in the mix. If you wanted to get Joe Ryan, which doesn't look like it's a thing that's going to happen at this point in time, but maybe they could. Real G's moving silence like lasagna, who knows? You're still able to do that based off of the money that Marte his contract has, which is not much in the grand scheme of things, considering how good he is.
No, he's making Massa money. Like, less than Massa.
Literally, sure. He's essentially, I think he's making less this year. Yeah. I think he's making $1 million less. But
like when you are talking about giving up a Tolier early, that's significant still at the end of the day. You
of course.
Could use those guys for another trade.
100%. I don't disagree with that.
Even,
this is not me poo-pooing on early. Obviously, he did what he could in Game 3 of that wild card series against the Yankees. Toley's the piglet. He's very skilled. But at some point, guys, and I've said this on the podcast, we do have to be ruthless. You said it yourself, Jack, that like you're in a win now sort of window now. You know, the days of dreaming about, what if we get back into the postseason, what we can do, we're there. This very well, if injuries didn't strike the team in the last month and change of the year, if Roman Anthony's in that lineup all throughout the year, front and back of it, we're probably looking at maybe not a 95 win team, but we're looking at least the 92, 93 win team, I would say. They finish at 89 as they were kind of lumping to the finish line on offense. So you're at a point now in a tough American League. The Yankees are going to be coming back. The Blue Jays are investing more. But you have a chance to win this pennant.
Like, come on. The Yankees are maybe the only team that actually got like worse in this division currently.
They listen, dude. They're like a what's something? They're a fucking Twinkie and nuclear holocaust. They'll come back. They'll still be in the mix. Every single year they're in the mix.
They are a cockroach. You are right. Yeah,
cockroach. There you go. That's a better way than me fucking stuttering around and whatnot.
You know,
the Mariners are going to be back
for their fans. Yeah,
some team in the Central is going to pop out of nowhere. Like Cleveland is another cockroach. They always seem to be in the mix. If Detroit keeps Skubal for one more year, they're going to be in the mix. But even then, after the year that you just had, where not everything went perfectly, especially in the second half, you still managed to win 89 games. You still managed to almost beat the Yankees. You still have a ton of young, controllable talent already on the books. Not all of these kids are going to be able to play. I love them all. I love all my boys. But at some point, you do have to be ruthless. And going out, putting it all on the table and saying, Ketel Marte, who's been one of the 10 best hitters in baseball and will continue to be a damn good hitter over the next couple of years, even if that deal doesn't totally age gracefully at the end of the day, that's a guy you go get. Now, granted, a couple of weeks ago on Pot on Landstyle, I said I still would prefer Cole Reagans, and that hasn't changed. My heart still belongs to Cole Reagans, but that's probably not going to happen. The point is, if you wanted to get that hitter, even if it is through trading, I think Marte is the guy.
No, absolutely. And before we throw it to commercial break, which we have to keep the sponsors happy and everything. I think I already forgot the point I was going to make. Okay, so let's head to commercial break. Yeah.
So someone's got to pay to keep the colored lights on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Why don't we go to our commercial break? Fitz, why don't you give us a good guess? Yeah. What will our commercial break consist of?
Probably a funny bit, some banter, and some relatability for the consumer to know that, hey, we're speaking from the heart here. You know, we're really, truly endorsing this product.
Sounds good.
It's more automated. Like we're not doing delivery this week.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
I gave it a good
why
guess.
don't we go to some what Fitz said AI bullshit? All right, back from AI bullshit. I'm curious what that commercial is going to be. Watch it be Chat GOP or whatever they're using these days. Wow, that was a good joke. Oh,
Wow.
thanks,
Oh
Ian.
my
Clap,
God.
clap, 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 clap. But of course, before we went to our break, we were talking about Ketel Marte, a guy that Red Sox fans still have a ton of interest in. Cole Reagans is still out there as well. Both guys, Sox are
Barking directly at Cole Reagans. My goodness gracious,
Yeah.
I'm salivating.
Yeah.
And they need outfielders. We mentioned this the other day too. Like how you got to make this work. Come on,
A complete side note, like again, Reagans, Peralta, whoever it is, and again, social media attacks. I'll keep saying that. I get why people were maybe upset why Alonso didn't come, but people were acting like Santa got killed, man. Like this team has other things that they need to address, and even after getting Sonny Gray, I kept hearing that people wanted, me included, and I'm not like backing away from this, I still agree, that they could use another legit arm in that rotation. So what happened to that? Maybe that's
Yeah,
why
we
they
got
didn't
him,
commit the money to
Oviedo.
Alonso.
Yeah, who doesn't want another good arm? I mean, Freddie Peralta, a guy we're connected to right now. 1 year of Freddie Peralta, you know what? I'll take it. I'm not giving you totally or early for it, but I would absolutely take a year of Freddie Peralta. Cole Reagan's a guy, again, we're connected to a lot. Scooble, I guess, is maybe like your reach school when you're applying for colleges. Like, sure. If
That's
you
actually
really
the
want
perfect
it,
way to put it. Yeah.
I applied to Dartmouth because that's the easiest Ivy League school to get into. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied to Harvard because they don't have a ton of acting majors. I didn't go to Harvard. But yeah, Terry Scooble, definitely a reach school. Would be super interested in having him here, but
you're gonna
you know,
have to
again,
give up Tolley and or early in that trade, even if it's for 1
Exactly.
year of him. He's the best pitcher on the planet. So
Exactly. And that's when we get to talking about like we have to get uncomfortable. There is a line to uncomfortable. Like I am not doing a Tolley for Paredes. I might do a
Yeah.
Tolley for 1 year of Scooble, but I'm not doing a Tolley for Paredes.
Yeah,
I would
Tolley
do
for
a
Paredes
Tolley
is up, yeah.
for
That-
Marte, Tolley and probably Meyer, unfortunately for Marte, but I would not do that for Poop Face. I don't know. I couldn't think of like a mid-ass player.
Dude,
fast
I
enough.
think you're underrating Poop Face, man. That ex-Woba that he had over the last couple of years. He went to
Yeah.
Driveline and he was able to fix everything underneath the hood.
He's a
so-
four-war player.
Yeah, well, that's Division I baseball for you. Classic Poop Face.
The
I
Rays
guess-
do it again with Poop Face, man. They just develop these guys out of nowhere.
Dude, you know what? I'm glad you said that because there's a guy that I would not trade a Tolley for. I would not trade a Tolley for Taj Bradley, who I think has already moved.
No,
but
absolutely
again,
not.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
There is definitely a line to uncomfortable. You want to get another guy in this rotation. You want to get another stellar guy in this lineup. Tolley is what the number one prospect according to Baseball America right now. Like
In the Red Sox.
In our
in the Red
system.
Sox
But
system.
still,
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're not giving
top
that up
25
for Poop Face.
consensus guy just about at this point.
Yeah, well, he's
yeah,
good.
anytime you can trade your number one prospect in your system for the guy who threw 31 and a thirds inning to the tune of over a 6.5 ERA, that you got to go get him.
Yeah. Aggressive, decisive.
Oh, that was just for Minnesota.
uncomfortable.
That was
Yeah.
only Minnesota. Oh, he
Yeah.
only had a 4.61 ERA and 1.11 and a third against the or with the Rays rather. So
yeah.
Oh, good.
But to address
so
a
it got
bit more of
worse. Is what I'm saying.
got worse by making that trade. But to address a bit more of like the Red Sox interest kings as they were, we definitely saw a lot of interest kings during these winter meetings. They had their hand in every single cookie jar out
I
there.
remember the point I was going to make before I went to break. Even if you trade a big prospect, apparently you can just trade for them back like Kyle Teal.
That would be pretty funny if it was Tasty Daxies.
Yeah, you if you trade Connolly early or Payne Tolley, you can just trade them for them back in a year. Nothing is stopping you from doing that.
Imagine
So I'm
like
glad that-
Breslow had like intel, and I'm not saying I don't know Kyle Teal's character. I'm sure he's a nice enough of a guy, but just imagine a world where like he's just wicked annoying, and Breslow was packaging him as a part of the Crochet deal just to get him out of town. Maybe he did some growing up over the last year. Now he's ready to come home. That would be a coup.
Yeah, DJ Bass Monkey. He's now Dr. Bass Monkey.
He comes back as Stewie's genetically perfect pig from the future.
Yeah.
Oink.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though that's crochet, but I'm glad you said that because that's kind of exactly what I'm transitioning to. We have our hand in every single cookie jar that's out there, including a potential Kyle Teal reunion, which I gotta tell you, not for Tolley or Early, but I would fucking love to bring Kyle Teal back. To
I don't
the
know. I
Red
might do
Sox.
that for Tolley or Early.
You
to be told,
would
yeah.
you do a 1-for-1 Kyle Teal for Peyton Tolley?
Yeah, because we don't have any other
Ooh.
catchers and we have plenty of pitchers, so sure.
Okay, Fitz, would you do that?
I don't know. I don't, because I think if you were set on flipping someone like a Tolley or an Early, I think they could be involved in a more impactful trade. Not that Kyle Teal won't be a solid catcher going forward. I'm sure he certainly will. We know that the kind of guy that he is. But if you really wanted to go out and figure out the catching situation, get a left-handed catcher who's maybe more, defensively sound or something like that. Although Narv is he's good defensively in his own right. But I think an answer to catcher, I think that can be found without having to leverage the pedigree of someone like a Tolley or in Early. I guess I'd have to think deeper onto it, but off the top of my head, I say probably not. But the fact that Kyle Teal's even being kicked around a year later in and of itself is pretty fascinating, I will say.
Yeah, just lets all of us know that the Chicago White Sox are not a real baseball organization.
No.
But hey, I'll tell you what, if they turn Kyle Teal around and they get something that they can use on their major league roster this year, sure, I'll be a monkey's uncle for it. But they are also not a real baseball organization.
-7 blocks above average in his cup of coffee in the majors, Mr. Teal. So that's not
Ooh, 7 blocks above average?
Wow.
know what?
-7. No, -7.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
never mind.
Still better than Connor Wong.
Is it really? I don't think it is.
It might be.
Connor Wong posted a positive.
Some encouraging
defensive
stuff under the hood
win above replacement.
for hitting, though, but
Not
not enough
in
to
terms
qualify
of
for
blocks,
leaderboards. But again, he's young.
Yeah.
He is young. We're all young.
Those things can change
Sad when
pretty
they go young
quickly on
like that.
defense with Savant. So
Exactly. But I did want to get your reaction, and not your reaction per se, but I want to
Yeah, fuck
hear
you.
what your reactions as Liam and as Jake are to the Pete Alonso news. Since we forgot to cover that, but I want to hear what you think their thoughts are. And you can impersonate them all you want.
well, for Liam, I don't have long, floppy blonde hair to do it, and Liam, like his voice.
Yeah,
It's not easily like he has his mannerisms. It's not easily impersonable, but Liam would probably do something along the lines of like, yeah, I don't know, would Alonso be good? Yeah. Does he have a lot of power? Yeah. Am I torn up about it? No. I'm still, breastfeeder. It's still fine. He'd say something along those lines. Jake, to no one's surprise, is already panicking. And we tweeted that out. Guys, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, what's the answer here, guys? Like, something along those lines. I think it might be over. I think it actually might be over. I think if you don't end up with Ketel Marte, I think it's actually over.
Wow.
Something along
And that
those
was
lines.
the real Jake Wallinger joining us for just a few moments. here.
Wallinger.
Thank you, Jake.
Well, yeah.
You were the one who said it was Wallinger. I was saying Wallinger.
Longer.
You know what? Why don't we all just get in a room and kiss about it? You know what? I thought that Liam voice was so good. I actually want you to say this
Who's that?
Liam line posted in chat from 8:30. I am watching.
Yeah,
Pretty Little
watching
Liars.
Pretty Little Liars. I can't do a Liam. Liam's watching right now. Probably saying this is pretty pathetic. He's probably giving me this.
Why? He's doing the call to the bullpen.
Yeah, right.
Of other interest that the Sox are showing, I don't think we're at a point of Bregman or bust, but definitely now I think Bregman is kind of worth a bit more to this team because he is an available impact bat. He wants to come back here. Other guys on the free agent market, I mean, we've been connected to Real Muto, which I'm not crazy about, but you know what? Sure.
Agreed.
Not sure. No, if they pay
Actually, I'm pretty sure,
JT Real
yeah.
Muto $15 million a year, that will be my crash out. You will see me crash out if they give JT Real Muto a bag. Not that he's necessarily a bad
Love that.
player. It's just a square peg in a round hole. I wrote about this on OTM over the Monster. We talked about it on Pot on Lansdowne. Not for me.
I'm so glad you said that. I kind of gave it like the passive sure because like due diligence to give him a call and like look at him. I have no interest in bringing him here. I would prefer a Narvaez Wong catcher platoon over JT Realmuto. But
It's not even that he's dust, but again, it's just the wrong player at the wrong time for the wrong team at the wrong position.
You know what? Maybe you're right, Fitz. We should all kill JT Realmuto.
I thought you were going to say Kiss again.
What? Ew, dude. We're
What's
not
the
married.
difference?
We're not. Ew.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Fitz?
We've said it a couple of times now, so there's
I would prefer Bregman. There are some reports that Red Sox are getting a bit closer to one of Suarez, and Suarez. Eugenio Suarez in particular, they're looking at as a potential impact bat, third base, first base, as well as our Japanese superstars, which there's still time for them to be posted. I don't think we're making a run at them right now. I really want to look at Eugenio Suarez. I personally have no interest, but I guess I could be talked into it. And Jack, you were saying before we came on that you had done a little bit of digging. Do you have what moves the needle for you about Eugenio Suarez?
I think just a bit of the consistency, at least.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy that's posted over 3 F4 each of the last 4 years. This is a guy where, you know you're getting 30 to 40 plus home run potential. And even he has still been productive even in the 20 to 30 home run range where, it's not like a Chris Carter or Chris Davis or something where like you're depending on the 50 home runs and accepting 200 strikeouts or whatever like that. And there is a lot of strikeouts too, obviously. But this is a guy where, probably won't be playing third base. He'll probably move over to first base, DH a bit too, depending on what happens there. So not going to cost you a shit ton because he is a little bit older. I think it was his age 33 entering his age 34 season. So it's not like it's going to cost you $150. It's going to cost you, 2 to 3 to 4 at 25 to maybe 30 a year. And even if it's bad that last season, you got a lot of these home runs, which we have been lacking the last few seasons. We talked about it the last 2 days. We haven't had a 40 home run hitter since JD Martinez in 2018. So I think even with some of the other red flags with the defense and the strikeouts, I think he would still help out this lineup a lot. And you know what? He's right-handed, so that's cool too.
Go for it, Fitz. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's some pros and cons to it. I mean, there's enough. I was just taking a quick look on it on Savant. What I would do without that fucking website. Obviously, Jack mentioned it. Some holes in the swing. He's never going to be a huge on-base merchant. I mean, you just look over the last since 22 rather. So the last 4 seasons, you got a triple slash of 238, 318, which is not great. 461, that's solid for a 779 OPS and a 118 OPS plus. Averages about, low 30s, 33 or so home runs per 162. And you're right, a bit older. Certainly not the first or second or probably even third choice that we would have here, but I would imagine that's baked into the price for whatever bag he gets from whatever team. Am I interested in him? I guess to stop delaying the question, Not right now. I think if you end up with him in the lineup, I don't think it's the end of the world. But he doesn't totally move the needle for me. The idea of him is great. I mean, he just had, damn near 50 homers this year. The idea of him is spectacular. When he's on, he is on, man. Like, there's not many better right-handed hitters when he gets on his heaters. You just have to live with that a bit. The power is there, undeniable. Still high expected slugging metric for him on Savant. I believe it said the 70th percentile there. At the end of the day, again, I think I would rather have them explore other options. I think, but it's at least
this
interesting
is the
to talk about.
complimentary bat. Like, this is not
Sure.
the bat that you're getting.
Sure.
Like, yeah, hopefully
and that would
it's
make it
still
easier to
Bregman.
swallow.
Yeah.
And also,
Like-
not for nothing, like if we want to talk about, and maybe you would move him over to first base, but if you want to talk about like what Ian mentioned, the emphasis on fielding as well to go along with whatever he could do with the bat, he wouldn't be the answer for that. Now maybe you could also just DH him if you're confident that Casas could play first, and if he was the complimentary bat to Bregman or whoever it might be, Marte, and you keep Meyer and move him to third or something like that. There are a lot of options here. Whether it's you bring back Bregman or if you go have Suarez be the complimentary guy, if you trade for Marte, there are a lot of different ways to address this lineup situation. So even after Schwarber and Alonso leaving the market, so it's intriguing at the very least.
It's intriguing for sure, and I totally agree with that because I would rather, in a world where everything explodes, you send Meyer to third base, sign Bichette, sign Polanco, get Marte. Like
Haven't
these
even
are
said
all-
Bichette's name during this at all.
Yeah,
I
could be an
just
option.
Don't think it. Yeah.
yeah, me neither. I mean, I think
I don't
Sox
either. At the end of the
fans-
day, I don't either. At the end, but it's
We all feel the
I
same
would be
way.
so pleasantly
world,
surprised.
but,
Yeah.
Yeah, if in this timeline we get Bo Bichette, sick. You have my interest. Do I think we get him in this timeline? I don't, but I would prioritize getting Bichette over Suarez if that is an option. I would also prioritize Polanco at second base over Suarez at third base or even first base as an option, and then kick Meyer over to third. Or hell, give Meyer some reps at short. That is where you raised him, and see what you can do with Story at second. Or I think there are a lot of interesting possibilities. I think if you get Suarez, you kind of stick yourself to one or two possibilities rather than any kind of creative approaches to run prevention or additional offensive production. Suarez he is not the answer to the defense on the infield level, on the base running level. He has a really, really low base running production. He has a really low on base percentage for a guy who hit 49 home runs last year. You know what? He's available, sure. He's probably at least at 5 or 6 on my list. There are a lot of other hitters I would call first.
right. Yeah, it's interesting, but that has to be either a complimentary or like complete like break glass in case of emergency. But it's not all bad. It's just it doesn't totally interest me. If you could do me a favor, pin Zoidberger's most recent comment there. I wanted to quickly mention this. Says
Wow.
PLL
Shout out in the
Sweetheart
chat.
predicts a Sox trade for Marte and a signing of Alex Bregman. So now that Bob Nightingale has said that, I'm looking forward to us
Oh no! Oh
trading
no!
for trading for Paredes and signing Edgar Renteria to fill out the lineup. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? At Dunk Intern post for us to sign Reese Hoskins.
Union mandated
What?
Reese Hoskins bump
Yeah.
from
Union-
the grip check
Japanese
guys.
soldier that kept fighting 29 years after the war. Yet I tweeted at him the other
He gets
day.
on
It was
base.
pretty good.
That's always been his calling card. To be fair, Mr. Hoskins.
So what about this?
What about this? Just what about
There's
this?
not going
Tell
to
us
be a
about
bat
this.
that replaces Pete Alonso. But what if we just went Phillies super rotation of like 2008 or 2012 or whatever that was? Like we just have Crochet. We trade for Tarek Skubal. We trade Duran and Bayo for Cole Reagans. And then we just have like 5 aces. And we don't have to care about like getting runs. We need 2 runs a game.
Last time we
and
had
that
5
should just be your
aces was in the mid
strategy.
2010s, baby.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He's
Yeah.
the ace. Clay
Name 'em.
Buckles.
He's the ace.
Wade Miley. Justin Masterson.
Yeah, I think
He was
the
special.
Sale trade is now off the
Yeah.
table too. Now that they got Yaz, they don't need any of our outfielders.
Yeah, was
But
that
Sale's
ever a
also
serious
38.
thing? I didn't think that was.
Which thing?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Chris Sale coming back. If we were to trade them an outfielder for Chris Sale,
Could have traded them a
That's so
shortstop.
funny. Yeah. LOL.
trade him a short Trevor Story for Chris Sale.
Yeah, not the one I was thinking of, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely who you meant. You want to trade re-emerging superstar Trevor Story for continually aging and brittling Chris Sale. I do love him.
Yeah, they just swap retirement homes.
Yeah. The winter meetings was a little underwhelming because there
Very
were
much in
so
general.
many
Yeah.
so many connections for the Red Sox that didn't materialize. What was interesting is 2 of the major bats came off the board right away, which in recent years we didn't see the major bats go until later in the season. Edwin Diaz, the most obvious Dodger in the world, went over to the Dodgers. Big shocker. Kyle Tucker is available. Something to me says Dodgers or Cubs. I think Red Sox call him at a due diligence, but it's a very crowded outfield.
How about Blue
you gotta
Jays?
make room. You think Blue Jays? That's
Maybe.
a take.
Yeah.
You think Tucker and Bichette both make it to the Blue Jays?
I don't know about both, but I mean, if I had to pick
Yeah.
heads up one, it's no doubt. Bo, thanks for the homer in Game 7, but enjoy elsewhere, man. Kyle Tucker, suit up for us, buddy. I'd absolutely
Yeah,
take Kyle
like-
Tucker over Bo Bichette.
Doesn't it seem weird how we've heard almost nothing about Kyle Tucker? It feels like
Doesn't
his
feel weird to
his
me.
like name has not entered my brain at all, and like it just
Probably, but if,
feels
if he
like-
sees Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso making over $30 million a year, he's probably totally fine just chilling, being like, wait for all those other dominoes to fall, then see who's going to pay a
Which
pretty penny for
I
one of
think
the best
is a
players in
great
baseball.
strategy, right?
Yeah.
Because like now that Alonso and Schwarber have set the market for what a power hitter's worth, like Kyle Tucker's a power hitter and excellent in the outfield.
He's an everything player. He's an
he's
everything. He's
fantastic.
unbelievable.
Hear
I,
me
I
out.
think he's probably the most underrated player in baseball, and he's still going to get a crazy contract, and he's still going to be underrated.
Yeah. We sign him, and then we take this outfielder that's great defensively, and we play him at second base. It would solve
sign
all of our
Kyle
issues.
Tucker to second base.
We sign Kyle Tucker to second base.
Turns out like he's a complete like phenomenon there, like defensively. Like
Literally, it's like Mookie all over again.
Who? I've never heard that name before in my life. I think he's a Dodger. I think
Sure.
Blue Jays definitely have a market for Tucker. We'll see how much they prioritize Bichette.
One thing is for sure, he is not a Yankee. I was so worried about that, and then they were like, "We're broke." Like literally, like Brian Cashman and like Hal Steinberg are just like, like.
Zoran's
emptying
New
their
York,
pockets,
man.
Like,
They're
oh,
gonna
we
be
can't
taxed too
do
much."
anything. Yeah.
Zoran's New York.
Yeah.
LOL. Before we get to the game, I actually would love to talk about that because you know what? The Red Sox did not come home with a big prize
I thought
from
you
the
were going to
winter
say
meetings.
Sohan.
I thought you were going to talk more about Mandami.
Yeah.
Trust me. I am a Mamdani stan.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But as far as the winter meetings go, Red Sox did not come home with anything particularly exciting. I'm intrigued by Watson, but we didn't come home with a big free agent. And Yankees came home with even less than that. Yankees came home with dog poop in a little dog poop baggie. Because they suck. Because they have no money and their ass to shit.
Even somehow the Rays got a little better. Yeah, the Rays got like Steven Matz, and he might be starting again, so don't care.
Yeah,
but
they're gonna get something back for Lowe,
It
too.
is. I think the point that we didn't make about Pete Alonso is it is annoying that it's going to be a division rival that we see 12 times a year.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that it's a small market team, way outbidding, their normal pay range, and that's obviously with a lot of other stuff looming that we've talked about. It is just the cherry on top that it's the Orioles that did it.
They got real fucking serious this
Yeah.
year real
They've
fast.
added 70 home runs to their lineup. Like
I was gonna say
yeah.
that of the
Still
top
need pitching,
6
man.
home run
They can
hitters.
they can
still
play
need
home run
pitching.
derby all they want. They
Yeah.
need fucking pitching.
Yeah, but like they're doing the opposite of what I said 5 minutes ago, where they're
The
like, fuck
super
rotation, like,
rotation,
just hit
yeah,
home run.
the exact off. Do you think they move in left field again, like to like 250?
We
for
were saying that
Alonso?
last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Just bring it in a little bit more. I bet they make a run.
Let
at
me ask you
Framber
this.
Polo grounds,
Let me
yeah.
ask you this. I haven't seen this brought up. Now that he's going to be on the books for 5 years at 31 per, I mean, I don't think they're going to. I think Rushman's going to walk. I think that ship might be sailing
I think
unless
they
he turns
trade
it
him.
around real quick or
Yeah.
traded, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Do they re-sign
Also, we
Gunner?
were saying last night. Yeah. No.
Yes.
If they were going to, they should have already. I
Yeah,
think,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like, tick, 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 boys. You better get your pitch in because Gunner may not be there for long.
I think he stays. And I think once you present this lineup for the next year
I
of
mean,
baseball,
it's a couple years until he's
yeah,
gonna be.
we're talking about like the extension that like everybody else is doing, and finally us.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're showing Gunnar this lineup right now. Like, who doesn't want to be a winning player? He probably would say,
Probably
you know
wants
what?
to be a
Where's the
guy who
winning?
can get close to $1 billion in free agency.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
Where's the winning?
either?
I mean,
They've
we
won
all?
the same amount of playoff games as us since 2021.
Stop. Stop.
Maybe a billion's talking too much. But the fact, listen, I mean, he's entering his age 25 year. This is his last pre-ARB season. 26, 27, 28, he's that age, and it's also that year. Those are his 3 arbitration years. He'll hit free agency before his age 29 season. And he's a stud infielder hitting from the left side. They only have a couple of years to make this work, man. And I get why they, went out and wanted to pony up for Alonso, but they need the pitching to go alongside it. And they don't have that.
I think we're gonna see
They
more of
traded
the
away
pitching.
G-Rod. They traded away part of the pitching that was already weak.
They did, but they added 30 home runs
Sure.
from that trade. Like,
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
think it was kind of like a really stupid move for the Orioles, but Bradish is going to come back. I think they make a run at Valdez. I mean, they signed Charlie Morton late last year, who was surprisingly productive for them for a month or two. Like, if this lineup is just going to out homer every other team,
I'm not giving them credit for Charlie Bourne.
And also in the big 2020, are you familiar with Sun Tzu, The Art of War? When you see your enemy making a mistake,
I
do
literally
not.
just read it last week, so I'm so
If
glad
you
you're
see your
bringing it
enemy
up.
making a mistake, do not interrupt them. If they want to run Charlie Morton back in that rotation again, I understand that they might be. I mean,
A contending team traded for Charlie Bourne, though.
sure. That's fine, but again, that
yeah.
team still, like this team in question here that we're talking about, still needs to figure out that rotation. If only within the last 10 years, guys, we could think of a team that played even within the Little League park within the American League that didn't have the pitching to go with it, because it totally worked for them. If there's only one team, they might play in one of the
I guess we'll
boroughs in
never
New York.
know.
I can't quite think of who.
Yeah.
But if only there was one example of that.
Who?
The Yankees.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Ta-da.
Should have had a V8.
Yeah, sure.
Not you when you're hungry.
I am interested in what the Orioles are going to do, because if they're spending the money, I think they can convince Gunnar to stay on a winning team on a maybe less expensive deal, unless he wants to get the Mike Trout treatment, make a ton of money in free agency, and just kind of rot on the Angels for the rest of his career. But I
and
digress.
that ownership group now, they have the pockets to lock him down. It's going to be a fucking whale of a contract when it's coming time to pay Gunnar, when they have Alonso on the books for 31. And you know what, the thresholds are going to rise. We look at it now, 31 per for Alonso, which we said earlier, like, okay, that could have been okay for the Sox to eat, especially, a big market team like us. But even in a couple of years, that's going to look a little bit better. $31 million 10 years ago is not the same as it is now, and it won't be the same that it is in 10 years from now, no matter what the CBA looks like. Still, that's not an insignificant amount of money when you're locking up your franchise player. Just a thought. He could end up signing, a Vlad-esque kind of contract, and this could be a moot point, but it's an interesting wrinkle into all this when you consider that, okay, they have all these hitters now in this lineup, but they still very much need to address the pitching if they want to get to where they want to go, especially with Gunnar steering the ship. So
I'm so fucking lit up that you referenced The Art of War. Like I said, I literally...
it's on my go-tos. I like to throw
last
that
week.
out there. It's a big fantasy football thing I think of when I was like, oh, why are you starting that quarterback this week? But I'm not going to say anything.
Yep, you know what? Go for it, man. I love in the books. Sorry, we'll get back to baseball, but I love in the book all the different versions of ground. You are on contentious ground. You are on uneven ground. Anyway, nerding out a little bit, but I'm so glad that you referenced that.
I mean, I've never read it. I just know that that's one of the things.
Oh, I've never read it. Shut up, Fitz. You should
I
read
wish
it.
I knew how to read.
What?
Yeah,
What?
I'm an honest guy.
Well, we are definitely over our hour mark here. I always love having Fitz on. Fitz always has such a great conversation, knows his ball.
Something
Seven?
like that. It had been
Six,
too
seven
long.
times? 6, 7 times?
Fucking
All right, bye, guys.
definitely at least the third, because we had
Yeah.
POL on last year, and then the producer special, which I really enjoyed having you on for that, and
course.
having you on now. We'll see if we get a full Christmas truce in this year, but TBD. I'm not going to tell fans we're doing that, but
I did just watch Christmas with the Cranks, by the way.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
It was great. It was great. I only watched it.
Did
for
you
the
really
first time
think it was
last
great?
year
Be honest.
because of you guys. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I
thank
actually
you.
liked it. Yeah.
So here's the thing with the Christmas with the Cranks thing. I love it personally. I have grown to love it because it's one of my wife's favorite Christmas movies, and like my in-laws, they watch it every year. I love it. That does not, by any stretch of the imagination, mean it's a good movie, because it's not a good movie. The movie sucks, but I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it all the time. It's not a good movie. Luther, the Cranks live in like a fucking cult, dude. Like a cult compound. Vic Frohmeyer and all his cronies, they're a cult, man.
Yeah. Same thing happened to my cousin Dan once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My buddy Eric, happened to him.
yeah, your buddy Eric Crank, Dan Crank. But I'm really glad that you guys brought up Christmas, because that's actually going to lead us directly into our game tonight. It is a Christmas-themed game. As we're ending the winter meetings and we all get ready for like cozy cookies and hot chocolate season here,
A
we have
nice
a little
roast dinner, if you're me.
a nice roast. Go listen to the Pot on Lansdowne episode from last year where we were able to go on and do a little Christmas draft.
We'll figure something out for this
Little
year.
plug.
I love
Maybe I
cookies.
spoiled it a little bit for next week, but we'll figure something out for this year. But until then, listen to the one from last year where we had the
Yes.
boys on.
And for the game we're going to have Fitz participate in tonight, and Jack Webster as well, is Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and the most famous yet somehow forgettable reindeer of all, Rudolph, happens to be 9 reindeer, which would be the same as you would build your lineup card. So you are going to build a lineup card of these 9 reindeer, where you would put them in order. Here's where the twist comes in, and also the LOL to our friends who could not join us tonight, Jake and Liam. We are big fans. We love having a laugh at their expense.
That's right.
Friends of the pod, come on anytime. Go listen to Pod on Lansdowne. In this lineup of 9 reindeer, you need to put 2 of the reindeer on the bench and replace them with Jake and Liam.
Okay.
Somewhere in that lineup. And you know what? Let us know what you're using the other 2 reindeer for. This reindeer is my bullpen closer. This reindeer is my left-handed platoon bench bat, whatever. Fitz, why don't we start with yourself? If you were to build a lineup of these 9 reindeer, switch 2 of them out, one with Jake, one with Liam, how would you build it?
So, just to clarify, am I building like an 11-man roster here, like with 2 bench players? So all 9 reindeer in addition to Jake and Liam, or am I
Correct.
just subbing out 2 of the reindeer with Jake and Liam? So I'm just 2 of the reindeer short.
So all 11 of these players.
Okay, they have a rule.
Yes, all 11 of these players are in theory going to be what am I fucking saying? Batting. In theory, all 11
Okay.
of them are going to be batting. If you want to get creative and you were to say, I would love for Prancer to be my starting pitcher and Dancer to be my closing pitcher.
Yeah, I was going to go
Sure.
kind of
No real
positions first and
rules.
maybe talk out the batting order from there, but I was kind of going to go positions because number 1 with the bullet, it's potentially the most valuable, maybe not the most valuable position on the field. I would say probably second at the very least in terms of the fielding positions. With his versatility and the vision that he has, he'd be able to get after just about every ball that's hit to him. I got to stick Rudolph in center with the red nose. I think his range would be elite. Lights everything up for all the other players in the outfield or, deep into the infield. I think he'd cover a lot of ground. Dependable as well. Santa called on him whenever he was needed. I think I got to stick him in center.
Okay, he would be your leadoff hitter too?
No, Dasher is the leadoff hitter.
Wow.
Very
'cause
clearly.
His name's Dasher.
His name's
Yeah,
Dasher.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Dasher with his speed. Although it's Dasher, maybe because he's a dasher, maybe he could play center, and we could stick Rudolph at short as like the franchise
I
kind of
was
player.
going to say that, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're
Interesting.
pivoting there. I mean, Rudolph's I mean, he's a utility player. You could plug him wherever he needs to be. If you need to have Dasher get off his feet for a day or two, you can absolutely stick Rudolph out there in center. Maybe his defensive metrics aren't as good as they are at short, but with him being the franchise player, you could stick him at short. So I'm agreeing. I agree with Mr. Webster there. So we're gonna have Dasher leading off, Rudolph at short. Best player could probably hit him second, I'd say. Maybe he doesn't have the most amount of thump, but he can get on base and he can get a hold of one, on his day.
Sure.
Looking through. Donner. No, let's go Comet hitting third.
Okay.
Comet. Comet feels like
I like that. Yeah, it feels like a little like moonshot kind of name.
Comet, hot corner, Comet, put him at third.
Hot corner Comet.
Right?
Trademark.
Put him over at third.
Fits.
Put him over at third base. Donner in the Rudolph Claymation special is built like a brick shithouse. He's our designated hitter and he's cleaning up.
Great.
DH there. Then we got Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Cupid, Blitzen, Jake, and Liam.
Yes.
Blitzen, we're going to kind of change things up here. Blitzen sounds like a great nickname for a relief pitcher. I'm going to have Blitzen coming out of the pen.
Okay. You know what? I like it.
Here comes Blitzen. Jake has a fucked up shoulder. I can't trust him to throw. I'm going to stick him at first.
Him and
Jake
Scott
would
had a
say
good
that,
both.
and then we'll figure out Jake's part in the order. No, Jake. I feel like Jake could be a thumper. We'll bat him fifth. I mean, if he's playing first, he's going to have to hit. So we can hit him fifth. Liam. Do with Liam. Well, anytime we need a pitcher, someone says that Liam Fennessy is going to go out there to pitch.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We need 5 innings from Liam Fennessy. Liam Fennessy _ is going to be pitching for the Red Sox tonight. He's our starter.
He's our Kyle Bearclaw.
He's our starter. Yeah, he's going to have to be 5 and die for us. So, Liam, you've got the ball, brother. That leaves second in the 2 corner outfield spots, I believe.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Cupid is cute. Cupid could be small. Put the small person at second base like Dustin Pedroia. Cupid will bat 6th. Or you know what? Cupid's batting 9th. Kind of as to flip the lineup kind of over, but Cupid's playing second. If we're playing at Fenway, I'm going to need someone to cover a lot of ground. That's why Prancer is our right fielder.
Love it.
And we'll keep Dancer. I mean Dancer. Dasher, Dancer, and Prancer in our outfield, like those are people who can move. It's going to be 70% of the world is covered by water. The other 30% is covered by Dasher, Dancer, and Prancer. So 7-8 is Prancer and Dancer in the corners. 7-8. Vixen, I don't have any good justification for why they're behind the dish. I think they'd be batting, what, 6th or 7th? I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it there.
Oh, 6, 7, 6,
but they're behind the dish, and that's my lineup.
Interesting. You know what? I would love to see that lineup in person. We're going to start building an entire Claymation special around it. And it's actually going to play off.
It's actually my God Squad in MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty. I grinded a lot to build that lineup.
Is saying his reindeer with Liam on the bump and Jake thumping in where'd you have him, in the 5th? The 5 spot?
The 5 spot. Yeah, it's first base because he's going to have to hit if he's playing first and not throwing.
The 5 spot. He's a regular Adam Duvall.
Duvall.
I fucking loved Adam Duvall. And this lineup will be playing off against Jack's lineup of reindeer, Jake, and Liam.
Yeah. So I did Google Santa's reindeer, just because, like, I forget some of the names I wanted to.
You
have
didn't know Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm the Grinch over here. But thank God that it gave me this AI overview of all the personality traits of the 1823 poem. So that way I can kind of know what each reindeer is about here. So I am going to, at shortstop, because you still need a lot of speed there. You need range nowadays and having quick feet over there. I'm going to put Comet because Comet is a fast, star-like reindeer. So I
Sure.
like that in the leadoff spot. You know, have a lot of range, kind of like a Trey Turner almost type, where you can just get to any ball and throw it over. So I need Comet leading off at shortstop for me. And
Okay.
then I got the Bash Brothers over here. Batting second, playing third base is Blitzen. A named after lightning from Dutch Blitzem. So
Perfect Dutch
you know,
accent, no notes.
Thank you. Yeah. Just call me Seydon Raffaello playing for the Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I need him just like being a consistent Alex Bregman leader type where, you know, you're going to have a bit of power, you're going to have some great defense, and, you know, you're going to contribute in a lot of ways, getting on base, not striking out a lot. And then, you know, we got the big power bat. We got Donner, named after Thunder from Dutch Dande. So this is your Pete Alonso. This is your 80 extra base hit, 40 plus home run, designated hitter. Like, can't field for shit.
He's
but,
a
like,
man.
That right-handed thump, middle of the lineup, 40 home runs over the monster. This is Donner. He is bringing the thunder. Thunder.
Great.
Yeah. Cool.
Great. Who's
Yep,
your four?
Yep. And then we have the captain. We got Dasher, the Swift leader.
Dasher, the captain.
Yeah, Dasher, the captain, playing catcher. You know, leading.
Do you think there's going to be a little clubhouse turmoil, like the diva that is Rudolph, who gets all the glitz and glamour? He's not given the captaincy.
I mean, like, it's a seniority type of thing. So, like, you know, Rudolph will have the A on the jersey. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
Breslow
the
and Henry
assistant,
flew
yeah.
over to the North Pole to smooth things over with Rudolph.
Like, just because, you know, Chara wasn't the best player on the Bruins late in his career doesn't mean he wasn't the captain.
True.
Like,
True.
it doesn't necessarily have to be the best player on there. I mean, Derek Jeter was the captain of the Yankees, and he fucking sucked. Like, for a
Damn, this
long time.
motherfucker's spitting.
So we
a good
got
point.
Dasher playing catcher for us. And then after that, yeah, you got just the all-American boy batting in the fifth year. It's Rudolph. In any other lineup, Rudolph is playing second or third in the lineup. But you're not going to overthink it. You're just going to put him in center. He does everything well. He has great flights on balls, given his nose and everything. So this is a guy that, you know, you can trust out there to be the captain of the outfield, guide you throughout that way on a stormy night. So I'm putting Rudolph in center.
Rudolph universal center on both of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
teams. You
No,
know
I
what?
pivot. I put Dasher in
say,
center.
yeah.
I changed
Oh,
my
that's
mind.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. You did put
Rudolph
Dasher in center. 'cause
can
he
like
covers
that's
ground.
a secondary position for. He has on ESPN Fantasy. He has outfield eligibility, but he's primarily a shortstop.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll play about 30 games in the outfield a year or so, just to get people off their feet.
Yeah, just like my boy Seydon.
Yeah. And then we're throwing Liam in left. You know, we're just
Okay,
He
Hide
can
him
play it
there.
off the monster. Yeah, we're hiding Liam in left. You know, the bat's gonna get you there. Very good clubhouse personality.
Yeah, left fielder Liam.
Yeah, left fielder Liam. Yep.
Liam and
what they
left.
call him.
Then who else we got here? For somebody known for their noble and elegance, I am going to put Prancer at first base. You need somebody limble, and you know, can stretch out over there. So you want somebody that can pick that ball, that can, you know, do the splits and get that ball in the dirt there. So I think that's Prancer for you. And that would be
Absolutely.
what, batting seventh at this point?
Yeah. Prancer is your
Yeah.
seventh at first base.
Yeah. And then I'm going to have
You still have to
Yeah.
place Dancer, Vixen, and Jake.
Jake. No. Yeah.
I know a
I
place
have
we can
Cupid
place
too.
Jake on the bench.
Cupid.
Yeah, I have
Correct.
Cupid.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Ooh,
Yeah.
got him.
Doing the laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he is tonight on the bench.
I'm gonna have Jake play right field for me. He can at least, run around out there. We're having fun. What's the worst that could happen? So Jake batting eighth. What's the worst that could
We
happen?
put him in two very different spots. I stuck him at first.
Yeah. This is the Adam Dunn-esque.
I do not trust that arm. Poor guy
Yeah.
dislocating it from time to time. That shoulder.
Okay, that actually, you know what? I haven't put anybody at first, so I will put Jake at first.
Yeah.
Yes, that-
You
I shouldn't
did.
have helped
You put
him.
Prancer at first.
yeah.
Sun Tzu, Art of
put
War
Prancer
shouldn't
at
have given
first
you
base.
that intel.
I know, yeah. Who
You
else
put
I got
Prancer
here?
at first base. You can't put Jake at first base.
Who did I?
You put
Oh yeah, I
Prancer
did
at
just put
first.
Prancer at first base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I'll put
Jake,
him at second. You don't need a strong arm at second.
all right, you
Yeah.
you can put him
Yeah,
at second.
that's right,
I
yeah.
was laughing at your Menendez brothers, Jake in right and Liam in left. But
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't even mean that. Yeah.
you know what? That's okay. It
Yeah.
sounds like you moved Jake to second. Little last minute decision here. Jake at second base.
And then I got Dancer, Vixen, and Cupid, and I also need a starter and a closer. I am going to put Dancer in right field. Yeah, because
Sure.
Dancers, he needs some, endurance out there. You need to be agile. Sometimes, Willie Abreu looks like he's dancing out there, catching fly balls and everything.
does.
So, yeah.
Sure.
And then for my starting pitcher, I'm gonna pick Cupid.
okay.
Yeah, the bringer of love and cheer. So you know what? I want to love my starting pitcher because he's
Yeah.
good and he brings love and cheer like Garrett Crochet. Yeah.
Okay. So that
And then
will
my
say-
close, yeah.
I think I've got the edge in starting pitching because my starting pitcher, Liam, has thumbs and fingers as opposed to just hooves, things of that nature.
Yeah.
yeah.
Woof.
You know what? We'll have to make a
Yeah,
Twitter
Cupid's
poll.
a great knuckleballer.
Yeah, right.
No,
think
no
they, like-
spin. Yeah, no. Yeah,
Do you think they like
he's
toss
our
it up
Tim
to themselves
Wakefield.
and like spike it towards the plate? Do you think that's how they throw?
Yeah, like volleyball, kind of.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'll have to make a Twitter poll. Who's the better starting pitcher?
Yeah.
Cupid the reindeer or Liam?
Yeah. And then my closer is Vixen, a playful and mischievous one. And I feel like you kind of need like an oddball for your closer. Like we've seen it with Pap and Koji, and Kenley was weird too in different ways, and Chapman's weird in bad ways sometimes. But
Weird's a way to
your
put it.
closer. Yeah, weird is underselling it. But anyways, your closer, it can be a weird guy a lot of times, and that's Vixen for me. So that's my lineup. And of course, for both of us, we're having our manager be Santa Claus.
I see.
I
what
could
you
go with
did
the
there.
Grinch. Mine.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's true.
Wow.
Real,
when
like,
you said
The
authority.
Grinch is
figure.
my GM. Yeah.
Yeah, because he went heartless. He would, just analyze it. No heart, no feelings attached to moves and stuff like that. It just makes the transactions that need to be made.
Yeah.
The Grinch is the Bruce Bochy of these teams. That's who the Grinch is. And then Santa.
Does he walk
or
out slow to the
Santi?
mound just like
Santi,
Bruce Bochy,
yeah.
or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your
45-minute
managers are
walks to the mound.
the Grinch and Santi at Fenway attendee on Twitter.
Exactly. Yeah. My manager, my
My
interim.
manager.
No, actually, he's my,
My former
interim
CBO, my
yeah,
current manager. Yeah.
Well, gents, a bit of a longer episode tonight, but you know what? Had a ton of fun with our reindeer lineup here, leading us
Absolutely.
to Christmas. Really interesting and somewhat lackluster winter meetings, but always a pleasure to have Pod on Lansdowne, Fitzy Mopena joining us here tonight. We'll get Jake and Liam again soon, but Fitz just as much of a host himself. For people that somehow would follow Not Another Sox podcast, but not Pod on Lansdowne, where can people find you?
At Pod on Lansdowne, easy enough. On the old Bird app, Twitter at Pod on Lansdowne, Instagram at Pod on Lansdowne, TikTok as well. Haven't been doing as much of that in the off season. We should change that. I
We
think
just
it's
got our
Pod-
TikTok back.
We
Yeah.
did.
I think it's pod.on.lansdowne, which, by the way, I hate to leave on a sour note. I will say, whoever sent out the tweet from Not Another Sox podcast, you misspelled Lansdowne, so it didn't tag.
Oh, whoops. That's my bad, yeah.
That's all right. There are
It's
worse
fine.
things.
I'm
there
busting
are
you-
children
I'm busting
starving
your
in
chops.
Africa, Fitz, and that's
Is that
what
right?
you really.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Quote
we
John
can
Lennon, they're
fix
starving
that.
out in
We'll tag
China,
you.
so finish what you got. Yeah. At Pot on Lansdowne, no D. It's not Lansdowne. Don't make the mistake that Mr. Webster made.
Sorry.
That's all right. So at
but
Pot
no,
on
General
absolutely.
Motors way, yeah.
And hey, if you like Not Another Sox podcast, why don't you tune into next week's episode where we'll have two very special guests by the way things look. Lean into it,
yeah.
right? We're doing a home and home.
we
Champagne
are
tastes
excited
just
to be
as sweet
there.
on the road.
There you go.
Thank you again, Jack Webster. Any final thoughts? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I
Well said.
will say there's usually some fallout after the winter meeting, so I'm hoping something manifests within the next 48 hours to get people off of Will Fleming for saying,
Yeah,
like, hey,
don't-
something good
don't-
might happen.
don't shit on Will
That
Fleming,
was so
guys.
dumb.
Come
That was so
on.
dumb. Yeah.
Will Fleming has
Don't
only been
shit on
the
me.
most
I just
stellar
tweeted out
step
things
upper.
that I heard.
Yeah.
And he's great. Will Fleming has only done right by
Will
Red Sox Nation,
motherfucking
filled big
Fleming.
shoes. Will motherfucking Fleming. Fitz, we will see you next week.
Absolutely. And hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to talking again soon.
I love you. No, I love you.
back.